Hi, Dr. Phil. Today I went out and bought headset, headphones, all that stuff because I haven't been able to sleep. I've been watching your show, and I have to say and actually looking at ones on YouTube, uh, you know, old shows, and I have to say I'm really disappointed in you and with you. And I'm dealing with parental alienation right now, and I'm a doer and a go-getter, and one way I deal with it is by researching and being involved and seeing what's out there for help, what other people do, organizing stuff, and right now I think it's like a nationwide, if not a worldwide, epidemic. I believe it's on the scale of women's rights, um, on the scale of atrocities of, uh, the First Nations and all the stuff that's coming out, um, domestic abuse, rape, all that stuff. It's on the same level. It's one of those things that happens. People think it's crazy. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't call it by name. Um, they're fearful of saying something. And but when you look around and you see it's out there. And I can't help but wonder why you're not dealing with it, why you're not bringing it up, why you're not saying those words, parental alienation, and what it really is. And, I watched a show this week about the gentleman with the three X's or the four X's, and the three that were ganging up on him, and the one that, is supporting him. And then his son sounding just like his mother. And do you call it parental alienation? No. You say both parents need to be in a child's life, and maybe it was the end of the show. I don't know why. But that's, as far as I'm concerned, that son sounded like his mother. And that father, whatever his faults may be, did not deserve that. The other show I've seen you have with parental alienation was some crazy woman, and she was claiming to be alienated. And was a bad example of what an alienated parent is like. It was awful. How that's like putting a rape victim on your show and making her look like she deserved it. It was nuts. And the only other one I've seen that you do is with the fathers, and it was a couple years ago, a father's advocate and the lawyer, and trying to bring up the issue with parental alienation. Well, I'm telling you, it's not just fathers anymore. It's happening to women as well, and it's awful when people think that you are the crazy one because of these blatant lies that this person is telling. And even when I'm saying it to people who know me, and I'm explaining my story, people in my mind, I'm thinking, are they really believing me, or are they thinking, well, you must have did something. No one would say that unless you did something. I'm a grandmother, and I've experienced parental alienation. I have a brother who was alienated from me by my stepfather, when we were kids. My mother and my father didn't do it maliciously, but they did, and I grew up without my father for 17 years. Now I'm dealing with my son's youngest daughter, whose mother is alienating her from her older sister, from me, from her father, and from all of our family. And we're not even asking for custody or 50-50 or parenting time. We're asking for an opportunity to have her in our life and visit for a few hours a month. And it's just crazy, the things that are said in court. And this person looks like a victim And you try to be kind. I try to be patient. I try to be understanding. And these are and it's not just me. These are the things that parents who are alienated go through. And nobody wants to do anything about it. And even the alienated parents, they don't want to speak up because they're afraid if they say something, the other parent will use it against them. Or they'll bring it to court, and sometimes you feel embarrassed because you know people aren't going to believe you, right? It's like that woman who would cry rape, and then you find out it's not true. That's what you think people are going to think about you, that I'm saying all this stuff, but they're thinking, oh, well, you must have did something. It's nuts. And I don't understand why you're not doing something about it. Parental alienation to a child is child abuse. It's psychological, it's emotional, and it's damaging. I can't even express what my brother went through when we were growing up. What he had to go through thinking his mother didn't love him. And what I had to go through as the older sister and have my brother taken away from me. And now I have to deal with my older granddaughter who's asked to see a counselor at school. She's trying to forget, and what she goes through, wishing she could see her baby sister. Not understanding why her baby sister's mom doesn't like her anymore. And not that we've told her anything like that. She just doesn't understand. She thought she was her friend. She thought she loved her. And now she's keeping her sister away from us. And it's a horrific thing. And I'm the grandmother. I can't imagine what parents, go through with this kind of stuff. And I think you need to deal with this subject. I think you need to bring it out in the open, and I think that if anyone, you should be making this something that people talk about and people aren't afraid to talk about, and call it what it is and put it out on the table, and call people on their shit. Even if it's mine, I don't care, whatever part I played in it. But we deserve to have a relationship with my granddaughter, and she deserves to know her family. She deserves that. You owe it to the world, Dr. Phil.